Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today I have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over at least the guild boss here and using Kazumi in there as promised. Now, this was one of the few things I was going to do on day one, but of course I decided to wait on that a little bit. I had some friends over at least today I had some friends over, which is actually Thursday. You guys should possibly be seeing this on Friday, and geez, it was a freaking blast. So I had to at least postpone this video till later. So hopefully guys you still enjoy it here, but we're going to be doing, of course, this one here being the guild boss. I did it on auto, same as this one I did on auto, but I want to really try to focus on this one because we have everything we absolutely can do with this. Now I'm going to have a whole different video showcasing like my Kazumi stats and stuff like that. Just know that she is highly optimized here, and we're going to be using at least Ford and Vino. If you do want to use this as well, you will need at least to optimize certain sets around. One of those sets is going to be Vino. She doesn't have to have anything too crazy, but you want her on this set, of course. And this is mainly just because we need to kind of help ourselves a little bit. This guy kind of packs a punch, and we are going to be trying to sustain as much damage while getting as many points as possible. So boom, that kind of helps out with that. Another thing for this one is it actually is a good support set as well. I forgot to actually mention this. This set here, if you guys can see, we can actually decrease the defense of the main target by a decent bit, which is going to be very, very helpful for this. But alongside this, you could change Cord's actual set. I'm not going to be changing her set. She's going to stay on the same set as always. But we did have to do some things to Wonder. So if you guys don't know exactly what we need to do, we need to use this weapon first. The other things that we need to kind of focus on a little bit here is going to be exactly pairing the other two personas. So for the first persona here, the newest one here, you're gonna want this one, and you want to have Speed Master on it so you can actually outspeed everyone and make Wonder the first person in the actual slot. Everything else you can kind of leave alone because you're not really going to be utilizing this too much here. I think the only thing you will really be utilizing this persona for is the first skill, and that's about it. So you don't have to worry about much with this character. The next one here, of course, is Dionysus. You're going to want to have Rebellion on Dionysus no matter what, as well as Racunda, to make sure you're actually getting those defense downs and the buffs that you need very well. The next thing that you want to try to get also is going to be at least a single target buff here for at least Yanosek. The one I have on is Terukaja, so of course if you want to do this, you very well can do so and just get that up. But all in all, let's get straight into it. Now this is going to be fairly interesting because after seeing it performed, it's going to be kind of an intriguing way to really do this here. So for the first round, which we're gonna have to take over, of course, we're gonna be using Wonder. We're gonna try and use Dionysus' first skill. So yeah, we have these buffs and stuff, but we're actually not gonna use them. We want to try our best to kind of hold onto these, and that's mainly because if we don't do this in the right order, we're gonna kind of get mixed up, and it's gonna be kind of bad. So yeah, we're not gonna mess with any of that right now. But anyways, go ahead and pop off Dionysus' first skill, making sure it is on. I would at least recommend most likely to I would recommend it to at least give it to maybe Vino. Vino seems like a good shot because at least she'll end up living. You don't want to give it to Kazumi because you don't want her to actually one tap this, which she very well will do. So let's go ahead and give it to Vino. Get the skill 1 down, doing the defense down, of course. And then for Cord 2, or at least Ford, we're going to go ahead and use the skill 2 on Wonder. Make sure we're actually buffing up Wonder here and make sure no one is getting one tap. And then we're going to use actually skill 1 on turn 1 instead of buffing. This keeps us kind of in a good situation where we're not able, or at least where we're able to start to farm up a little bit of points before we end up killing this guy off. So we don't want to kill that off at all. Now, in the second round here, we're actually going to once again save our Futaba one. We're not going to use this at least until I want to say maybe still at least round 3. So we're gonna go ahead and save her, and we're gonna go ahead and try to focus more on actually utilizing the defense decrease with our Rebellion, or at least our Dionysus here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop off Racunda. Boom, pretty easy. Get this all set up so we can start dealing some big boy damage. I'm gonna use skill 3 on Vino, getting off those procs here, and then we're going to use skill 3 on Wonder for at least Ford as well. So go ahead and use the skill 3. This is going to pop this off immediately, and pretty much this is just going to allow us to buff everybody right here. pretty easy, pretty simple, nothing too crazy. And then what we end up doing from here is we're going to use Kazumi's skill 2. So let's go ahead and use this, and we want to try and use this on Wonder as well, since we did just heavy buff him. We're going to use it on Wonder as well, so it can stack up a little bit of damage and get some points in as well for the next little hit. Now, third round. Once again, remember, we were going to go ahead and use Futaba here to actually go ahead and start getting this down. But you don't want to use skill 1 or anything like that. You want to use the skill 2, actually increasing the damage we're going to be dealing to this guy and taking down the defense, which is going to be really, really helpful for us as well. So we used our skill 2. The next thing that we want to go ahead and do is actually go ahead and change your persona, go to at least Sarosh here, and then you want to go ahead and use the highlight, making sure we're going to deal more damage with our at least blessed side of things. And then we're going to immediately pop off Yanasik and use our attack buff. So let's go ahead and use our attack buff, and I would definitely recommend at this point in time, this is where we can start buffing up our Kazumi here. So go ahead and buff her up, get her some nice things here. We're gonna go ahead and do the cycle over again. Use skill 1 once again with Vino. Boom, that's skill 1 off right there. And then with Cord, we're going to then use the skill 2, giving her the actual loyal listener buff here to make sure we're getting those crit rates up and everything that we need here. Now at this point in time, we can go ahead and start setting up again. Use the skill 1, boom, kill off the boss, and this is where the magic happens. So first round, immediately we're proccing off at least Futaba's first little skill here, getting the defense down, setting up everything perfectly, and then we're going to use Rebellion immediately with Dionysus to go ahead and set this up for some big boy damage with our Kazumi here. So we did at least Rebellion here. We're going to use the skill 3 with Vino, and then we're going to use Cord's first skill. And from here, this is where we start dealing some high key damage. So skill 3 is actually going to be the surprising one that you're going to end up using for this one. You won't be using skill 2 or anything like that. Skill 3 is just for some decent damage here and actually getting everything done. And then for this round, we're going to immediately pop off the big boy numbers. So we're going to use the skill 3 with Futaba, making sure it pops off on Kazumi here. And then we're going to use Cord's highlight. Yep, you heard that right. We're going to use Cord's highlight at this point in time. Make sure this is on as well. And then from here, we're going to use the skill 1 from Sarosh. Let's go ahead and swap on over. This is going to help us at least deal more blessed damage as well. So that's the reason why we're going to go ahead and do this. Use the skill 1 with at least our Vino. And from here, it's pretty much smooth sailing. You already know exactly what to do here. Skill 3 on at least Kazumi here. We're going to immediately pop off the highlight, of course, as always. Then what we're going to do as well with at least Kazumi, we're going to highlight again and get it again. So do this. Boom. Highlight again. And then use the, what is it called? And then use skill 3 for us as well. So go ahead and use this. Boom. Which did some decent damage. We did pretty decent with that one. I'm pretty positive we can actually force this to be even higher than at least 60k that we pretty much got here. But first turn, first try, or at least first try here, we managed to get 59 million here, nearly 60 million with her dealing some insane numbers here. So it's actually insane to see what you can really do with this character, especially seeing that you're like A0, much like I am. Not gonna freaking lie, she packs a huge punch, and if you decide to do it this way, you'll definitely get some very, very high points here. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do smash that like button, which consider subscribing if you are new. I do daily videos of just Persona all the time. Until the next one, peace out.